In this session, we will talk about the methodology of double or linear moving average method. We know that single moving average method is unable to capture the systematic trend in the data. So when there is systematic trend in the data, we can use the double moving average with some error correction. So what we are actually doing, we are using the difference between the first stage moving average and the second stage moving average to make the correction for this systematic error. So these adjustments which we make with the help of the difference between single and the double moving average is unable to make the corrections when there is significant random error in the data set. So we must be aware of this situation, that this extra smoothing is only helpful when the error is systematic and not random. So there may be some random noise there, but the presence of random noise is not very significant. So there are three aspects or three stages involved in this approach. At the first step, we will use the moving average. We will calculate for the observed time series. We denote it by ST prime. At the second stage, we calculate the another smoothing of the smoothing values, smooth data, which we have obtained at the first stage. So the difference between ST prime and ST double prime. ST prime is the smooth values obtained at the first step, and the ST double prime is the smooth data obtained at the second step. So we make an adjustment for every time period using this difference. But another approach to correct it is that we have learned from this difference and we further estimate the trend component in the data. There are several techniques which can be used to estimate the trend in the data set. So what we do, we calculate an adjustment term for the trend from T to T plus 1 period, so that we can make the forecast for the time point T plus 1. So actually there are three things. The first thing is the smooth values which we have obtained using the single moving average method at the first step. Second thing is the difference between the first step smooth values and the second step smooth values. And the third component is the trend term, which is actually the growth of data from time point T to time point T plus 1. So we will be using the linear trend in the data in this particular technique. This adjustment too, where we are actually using the difference between first step smooth values and the second step smooth values and the trend component, these are only effective when the trend is linear. So for the non-linear trend, this technique will not provide good results. And the second thing is that the error component is very strong. So we have already talked about this, that this technique will provide good results only when there is not an error term which is very significant, the random error term. So if there is an error in the data, and if it is some kind of systematic error, then this double moving average is actually the best technique which in among these moving averages class.